Good evening, Mustang family. Thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube channel. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome somebody very important that has joined the Horeb team here. And this evening, we're going to focus on parenting in the age of social media. We know it's a hot topic. We want to provide you parents with strategies and techniques to help you at home and to partner with us. And we know that it's a way of life now. There's no way escaping it. Social media is a part of our daily lives. So our presenter is going to present you with some tactics and techniques to help you navigate through this age of social media. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce a new member of our team here at Horeb. She'll be here once a week working with students and teachers, and we've seen already the impact that she's making at our wonderful school. So without further ado, Dr. Arlette Parado.
Thank you, Principal Mackey. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. It is really a pleasure. Just before we start, a little bit about myself. I'm a Miami-born citizen. I have been in the mental health field now for about 10 years. But what people don't know is that my roots are in education. I was a teacher for many years. The very first profession that I did was education, and I worked with children with special needs. So I started after about 8 years, kind of figuring out maybe I wanted to do something a little bit more different, but that I can still educate. So I combined the education with the mental health, and this is what I do now. I have a private practice. I work with children with autism, early intervention, and I'm slowly now developing more of a community-based approach on how to help our youth, and most importantly, how to help you as parents help navigate this new world that we're entering. It's not the same when we were children. Life is changing, and the way that children are interacting is different. So hopefully today we can gain a little bit of insight, and we can help all of you understand, okay? So the presentation today, it's a little bit of a guide for you. It's gonna be informative. There are gonna be some questions, and we'll answer them together, but the focus today is social media and our teenagers, okay? Okay, so what is social media? Social media are websites and applications that they allow users to create and share content, pictures, information to participate in what we know as social networking. When I was growing up, networking was, going to a conference, going to a workshop. Now everything seems to be socially networking through the internet. So that's the big change. Now, how it works. There are over 300 different social media sites, okay? They say that there's privacy, but the internet is a public space, so there really is no privacy. And I want you guys to understand that. There really is no privacy. If you create it, if you post it, if you share it, okay, that means you've put it out there, okay? The best example that I tell the students is, I'm standing on a balcony, I get a pillow, and I throw all the feathers out of that pillow. If I want to take that back, is that even possible? No. So that's something to be aware of, okay? Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, okay? And we share that with the students here at Horeb. Personal branding, okay? Everything that you create, share is a reflection of who you are, okay? We also talk about that. Nothing ever gets deleted. If you post it on a social media site, it is like a thumbprint, a video, a post, a picture, okay? Now, types of social media, we have Kick Messenger, we have OOVOO, and we have WhatsApp. A lot of us use WhatsApp, right? That's the one that we're using now. The other two are not as widely used, okay? Instagram, okay, that's the big one now. Tumblr, Twitter, I'd say it's more for, business, more political. And we have Vine. Snapchat. Watch that one. Watch Snapchat, okay? Wisher, Yik Yak, Burn Note, Omelg, Scout, Meet Me, okay? And Tinder, it's a dating app, okay? Now, part of being a parent myself, and this is why I created it, or why I wanted to discuss it this way, is that one of the biggest fears I have as a parent is, who are my children talking to? They could be on a video game. They could be in a TikTok. I mean, they're going into another world. You know, and I always tell my children, I need you to come back to the real world. That's not the real world. Come back to the real world, okay? So this is just a little checklist on how you as a parent can know the signs that perhaps your child is contacting someone inappropriately or an online predator. Because that's the new platform for predators. That's the new platform. Why? Because they can disguise themselves, they could put avatars, and there's like a protection, you understand? Versus 40 years ago, they might approach a child in person, but now social media is giving them kind of an arena, okay, to connect and contact children that way, okay? These are the things I want you guys to think about if, and of course, your child might exhibit some of these behaviors, doesn't mean something's going on, but just for you to be aware, just to kind of for you to be aware. If your child becomes secretive about online activities, they don't want to give you the password. They don't want you to see what they're doing, okay? Becomes obsessive about being online, okay? If they're not online, they get anxious. They need to get online immediately, okay? Gets angry when he or she can't get online, okay? Receives phone calls from people you do not know or makes calls to numbers that you do not recognize. I will tell you now, if your child has a phone and you're not allowed or they don't give you the code, your child should not have a phone. And that's one of the things that as they get older, 13, 14, 15, there's this sense of entitlement. No, I pay the cell phone. I need to know the code, okay? Receives gifts, mail, or packages from someone you do not know. You would be surprised, okay? Withdraws from family and friends. All they want to do when there's a family gathering is go to the internet, be on their phone. It's as if, I feel like children are losing the ability to socially interact because they're just in this world. It's this world that is all-knowing and it has to be there, and it is this do or die, okay? If you're seeing them and when you come up to them, they change screens or you turn off the computer, okay? That's a big, 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 big concern, okay? Because one of the rules I have, at least with my children, is if you're on there, fine. You have a set time, okay? It's kind of like chocolate cake. You can't have it all the time. It has to be, you know, like everything in life, too much of anything is not good. So that's a big one. That last one is really a big one, okay? Dangers of social media, and I'm seeing a lot of this, okay? And this is a big topic here at Horeb that we're working on, is cyberbullying. And I want to explain to you guys what that means, okay? Cyberbullying can be a gesture, it could be written, it could be verbal, it could be a physical attack through electronic communication, okay? Thank you. It meets the criteria of state definition of HIB, okay? The distinguishing characteristics, it has no time constraints, okay? It can happen outside of school hours, and if I'm not mistaken here, and Principal Mackey can correct me, if it happens outside of school, but you're part of the Horeb Christian family, we're still gonna get involved, okay? You're part of our school, and I feel that the administration and the school is taking the approach of like, no more turning a blind eye. No, if it's happening, we're going to address it and there's going to be consequences, okay? Sexting and inappropriate pictures. You would be surprised how something that they might think is so innocent can actually be something, if done as an adult, you can actually be charged for it, okay? I want to talk about this. The Egg Harbor Township Police Department, this was a study that, or initiative that they did. This is Detective Heather Stuff. And it was a criminal investigation division. So they started going out and talking to the families and the children. And there's some laws that I want to share about sexting in New Jersey, because the adolescents, for some reason, there's a trend. I want you to know there's a trend in that. Posting pictures, showing their body, twerking. I mean, all of those things are considered inappropriate, okay? Sexting, you'd be surprised at some of the things that I have read that the children's write that I'm like, what are you writing? Do you even understand who you're writing to? I say this, do not do anything, post anything, put a video or say anything that you wouldn't want your mother or your grandmother to know about. That's the rule. So I'm gonna ask some questions and we're just gonna say fact or fiction, okay? So, In the state of New Jersey, minors can be arrested and convicted for taking an explicit picture of themselves. True or false? Fact. Okay? And that happens a lot. I haven't seen that here, but in the other schools I've worked at, there's a lot of that going on. Okay? A minor can be convicted and charged if they take a picture of themselves, distribute, possess, store, post on internet provocative pictures of another minor. True or false? Okay? Fact. And if you guys really look at this, these are kind of the characteristics of a pedophile. Look at the way that they're putting it, okay? It could be something so innocent in their mind, but they're not realizing that what they're doing is actually illegal, okay? Teens that post messages and photos on social media anonymously are completely disguised. Fact or fiction? Good, fiction, not true, okay? Information can be retrieved from a cell phone after it has been deleted. Fact, absolutely. I will tell you this, anything on that phone, I don't know if you guys watch the criminal investigation channels, that's how they get people. That's how they get people, patterns in phone calls, sending a message and deleting it. There are ways to retrieve anything that is of electronic communication can be retrieved. And that's where I feel that the kids are not really understanding that. Okay, it's kind of like a thumbprint, okay? Juvenile criminal records disappear once an individual turns 18 years old. True or false? Okay, true. Who else? Actually fiction. In New Jersey, yeah. It's actually not true, okay? What should kids do if they receive a sext? And this is kind of where you're going to talk to your child, okay? And I would say this more for the parents that, the children already in middle and high school. Tell a trusted adult, you can talk to me, Johnny. You can talk to me, Susie. Okay? When you give them a phone, it's kind of like an orientation, And that's something that, we can also discuss as parents and talk about that. But it's kind of like you get a phone and that's it. No. You get a phone, there's responsibility. What is sexting? What is cyberbullying? What is all of that? And for them to also know too, one of the things that we're doing here now, with the support of Principal Mackey and Miss Adriana and the school, is that we want students to step up. If they see any type of bullying, hey, you know what? That's not right. We don't do that here at Horeb. That's not the Horeb mentality. Stop. Because we have to teach them to help each other. We're not here to, it's kind of like they're frenemies. They want to be friends, but they don't know how to, okay? So we really, really big on this, okay? Tell, you have to tell, and you have to delete it right away after you tell, okay? I love this one because I didn't know about any of this, okay? Codes to look for that when children text that you don't know about. So 143 is I love you. That's okay. 182 is I hate you. And I want to remind everybody that hate is a very strong word, okay? 420. Okay, and just so you guys know, 420 is marijuana. April 20th, that's the big thing. Every year, April 20th, everybody, decides to smoke marijuana. ADR means address. Look at this one. AEAP, as early as possible. ALAP, as late as possible. ASL, if anybody texts. Age, sex, location. CD9, parents are around. CD9, I saw my son text that, okay? CD9, parents are around. KPC, keeping parents clueless. MOS, mom over shoulder. Unbelievable. Take a picture of that. That is unbelievable that they can even come up with this. Tells you how intelligent our children are. Okay, but this is a way for what? For them to beat you. You guys have to be ahead of the game. I'm serious. You have to be ahead of the game with our children, okay? LMIRL, let's meet in real life. Look at that. PAL, parents are listening. PA, parents are watching. PER, parents in the room. SERG, to gang up. This is a big one. SERG means to gang up on someone, to jump someone, okay? And if you guys hear, you can take a picture or write it. If you want to know more codes, www.enough.org, okay, to get yourself very educated on that, okay? Now, the most important thing, how are we going to protect our kids? How are we going to be proactive? How are we all going to work together as parents, as counselors, as therapists, as principals, as staff here at the school? What are we going to do to help our kids? You get the phone, right? Set clear rules with your children regarding what they are allowed to talk, text, and surf the internet via their mobile devices. Check your carriers. A lot of the carriers, there's a way that you can like kind of control, okay? Get that app 360. You can know where your child is at all times, okay? Your child should only communicate with you, your parent-approved contacts. Look at the contact list. Who are all these people? You'd be surprised how sometimes they even hide who they're talking through by like different names. Talk to your children about respecting others online. It is a platform, I say, to... it is a platform for happiness, good times, family-oriented information. It is not a platform to hurt. It is not a platform to, gang up or attack or do things that are unkind. Even sometimes, and we all have Facebook and Instagram, sometimes people post stuff and I'm like, that's not funny. And it's adults that are actually doing it, okay? Your child should never text something to someone else that they would not say to them in real life. Communication should always be truthful, encouraging, helpful, and also positive, okay? If your child receives a threatening, mean, or sexual message from someone, they should come to you immediately. And you have to tell them that. I don't know at what age, I leave that to the discretion of you as parents. What age is appropriate to give your child a phone? I know some kids that are 9 years old that have a phone. I'm more one, like I need to have double digits at least, or a necessity, like my mom is coming to get me, so that's what I have the phone for. But it's not to live through the phone. This phone is not your life. This is a phone that I give to you so that you can have your time and that I can communicate with you, okay? When you start seeing that the phone is becoming more important than anything else, that's when we're gonna have to take a step back. It's like candy or giving them chocolate, okay? Advise your child never to share personal information through their mobile device, including date of birth, address, and their full name. Nobody needs to know your child's full name. Nobody needs to know where your child lives. Why? Why? Unless you're going to throw a birthday party and you know everybody that's coming. Putting stuff like that is really, really dangerous. Even to the point that, as adults, we need to think about that as well, okay? Talk to your children about never using vulgar or sexually explicit language through their mobile device. If anybody becomes vulgar, and tell them what is vulgar, okay? And explain to them what it is. If anyone becomes vulgar or sexually explicit language, they should talk to you and also block future communication. You as a parent has to take charge, okay? Talk to your children about privacy. Discuss with them how there is no such thing as privacy through their mobile device, and there are no takebacks with what they post, text, upload, or send. I'm gonna recommend to you guys, this is what I do every Sunday. Every Sunday, I take my children out and we have breakfast, and I look at their phones. Okay, mommy needs to see what we did this week. I've had to do that to make sure and monitor, okay? True story, just to share. I had an incident last year, my son is in 8th grade now, that something very ugly it was something they found on a website. It was sexually explicit. And it went around and around and around, and they were all blaming each other. And no one knows where it came from. You know what it was? It was someone that went into their group chat. Hey, you want to look at this? Who was the person? We don't know. As parents, we were trying to check. We took the phones to law enforcement. Somebody sent, and again, we're on, there's children watching, but it was extremely offensive what I saw, and extremely graphic in a very sexual way. Things that 10 and 11 and 12-year-olds don't need to be watching, because nobody wanted to admit that they all accepted to look at the video. So they all blamed each other. And remember, we also want to preserve, the innocence of our kids. Kids should be kids. You can have fun, you could play a video game, but, tell them, what are we really watching? TikTok is another one. We got to be real careful with TikTok. I've seen some adults that I'm like, Are we aware of what we're doing? You know, it's becoming very concerning, you know, the behavior, right? Content your kids send through the internet or their mobile device can be distributed across the world without their permission or knowledge. Okay? I talk a lot to the kids about doing videos, dancing, going to parties. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch of movies and you've heard how a video comes out, you know, and it can destroy someone's life. You know, I've heard stories, and we studied as mental health professionals how there's even been adolescents that have taken their life because of the shame that they feel of something that they did. You know, and it's sad because once it's out there, it's like a film. You can't take it back. And once people see it, then they judge you. You understand? And that's why we have to really work hard on what are our values. I know that's one of the things we're very big on here at Hareb, values. What are the values? Kindness, honesty, respect, dignity, respecting yourself, okay? Now, decide whether your children are allowed to post content to their social networking sites and other websites to their mobile device. Content should be approved by you and only you. Okay? If they receive a text message from someone you don't know, they should not respond. And you should block that, okay? Your child should never let someone they don't know use their phone, and that happens quite often, okay? Don't let a friend, don't let a classmate, that's your property, okay? Charge all devices in your room. As parents, why are we letting them do it? No, it's the end of the night. I pay for this phone, I charge it here. Parent controls, you're in control. You are in the driver's seat, okay? Take the phone, let them get mad, let them throw, let them rant and rave, okay? Give it about 20 minutes and after that it'll be gone. And there has to be consequences. If something that you have your rules, the consequence is the phone is taken away until I decide when do I get it back, when I decide that you get it back. Period. End of discussion. Do not engage in a back and forth. Okay? The phone is paid by you. You are the one that has control of that, okay? Monitoring software. There are over 30 available software options, okay? Now, how to protect your child. These internet service providers have parent control. So these are the ones that you should be using. AOL, AT&T, Cablevision, Comcast, Cox, Earthlink, Mousemail, NetZero, Sprint, Time Warner, and Verizon. Verizon is really, really, really good. See? Is that it? Is that the end? Yes? That's it, right? Okay. So that's it for the presentation. But I wanted now to see if maybe we had any questions. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask, or do they have anything in particular that they want to share at this time? No? Yes?
Any app that you recommend to monitor what they do?
That's a great question. What I would do, and this is, I don't know them off the top of my head, but like, for example, for me with Verizon, I went to Verizon. And actually, my children's father actually went with him, and they will give you what packages. Verizon is really the best. I see everything that he does. He has no idea. Everything. Understand? And that's what you want. And you tell them, I can see everything that you do here. Ever since I changed to Verizon, things have been very different with that phone. It isn't even being used as much anymore because they're not adults. You know, when you turn 18 and you pay your phone and you have a job, you do what you want, even though we hope that they act in a responsible way. And that's a message I want to send today. It's not about that social media is bad. It's that social media has been used irresponsibly. Let's use it in a positive way. I see so many beautiful things people do, like with family, and I love people that put positive, like I have a Facebook. I don't have an Instagram, but I have a Facebook. I'm always putting positive affirmations, make it a great day, beautiful quotes. If you're gonna share something, something positive, festival of lights, you don't want to spread any more negativity in this world. We have enough negativity. So imagine if we all used social media in a positive way, everything would work itself out. Nothing's perfect. You're always going to have people that are going to use things irresponsibly. But I feel what we're doing here at Hareb, and the initiative that I have taken as a licensed practitioner is that educate the parents. You guys are the secret weapon. If you guys know and you guys are empowered and you're educated, they can't pull a fast one on you. You understand? And being involved, getting very involved and asking questions. So, who are you talking to on the phone? My God, you've been there 2 hours, and have limits. Like, for example, when you get home, the phone is off limits until you do homework. I mean, I know children that can't even go to the bathroom. They can't even go to the bathroom without the phone. So we have to ask ourselves, how much of that is on me? Because sometimes, it's like I see it always with the little kids I work with. When they have a tantrum, give them the tablet. We're already conditioning them. Get the phone and that's it. Yeah, silence. We're all guilty of it, okay? But when it starts becoming, like I say, our children need to live in the real world. Social media is not the real world. So just keep that in mind, okay? Any other questions we have tonight? No? Well, I thank you all. Like I said, I work with Horeb Christian School. I am here once a week, and if anybody needs anything from me, if you need to talk to me, if you need to talk to me with your child, I'm here on a pro bono basis. I don't bill insurance. I don't charge. I'm doing this as a community partner. Adriana and Principal Mackey have become like my besties, so I really enjoy coming here. And I have to say, the children of this school are pleasure. Children are children. We're all going to have, our days, but they're good kids inside. I see the light in them. And I've been to a lot of schools, and this is a really good school. So anything I can do to help you and to help the Horeb family, I'm here for all of you, okay? And thank you so much. Yes?
You want to just speak a little bit about what is important the parents read the message to the kids, because different parents don't want to touch the telephone because feeling is, okay, my kid feeling I don't have a privacy, and what is important the parents check it out every single day.
That's a great question. I think that starts from the beginning, from the moment you give them the phone. It's kind of hard to give the child the phone, and after, 2-3 years to pull back. Listen, from the beginning, remember we talked about the ground rules. I'm giving you this phone. This is not your phone. This is my phone. I pay for this phone. But this is the phone that I give you for these reasons. These are the times you're going to be able to have it for fun. These are the times you're going to have to turn it off, which I'm assuming it's here when they're at school. And these are the times that, you're going to be showing it to me, okay? Do not be afraid to take the phone, period. Do not, I have people tell me, no, I can't take away the phone. It's going to be a nightmare all night. Oh, well, it is your phone. It is not their phone. Do not be afraid. Remember, you're the parent, not them. You're the one that sets the rules, not them. And they need to know that from the beginning. And it starts, you have to start from the moment that they get that device. Understand? Because hopefully what I'm thinking we can do is kind of do a paradigm shift where children will, understand what it means to have a phone, but that it's not everything. There's so many other things we can do. We can read a book. We can go to the movies. We can hang out with mom and do our nails. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. When it starts becoming that, you're with your kids all the time, but they're on the phone, how much of you are you really with your child? They're present, but they're not present. And that's one of the things I want you guys to understand. Like, ask yourselves, wow, I got home today and I haven't even had a conversation with them yet. Hey, you see my phone? I'm going to put it over here. Give me your phone, put it over here. Let's talk. Okay? Verbal human contact. That's enough. I want you guys to know something. I'm seeing a big decline in social interaction. Children, I'm not pointing at anybody, but for example, even saying good morning, how are you? We're losing that. People, children go somewhere, and how do you start conversation? I've seen kids at parties and they're next to each other and they're texting each other. I'm like, that is not the way that we communicate. No. Hi, how are you? You want to go over here and they're losing that, guys. We are losing that human contact. Look at the world. Even if you go to the bank now, sometimes you don't even have someone to talk to. So let's try to get ahead of the game with the device, okay? The device should not be running your household. And a lot of times it is in a lot of homes. The device should be there as an addition, as a perk, a plus, a recreational, but it should not be what they live through. And a lot of times, I'll look at what they're looking at, and I'm like, they're just bored. They're not even looking at anything that makes any sense. They're looking at YouTube videos. YouTube videos also, we need to check, make sure that when you're going into YouTube that it has there's one for kids and there's one for adults, okay? And there's parent controls there that I do know. But what I don't want to see is that you as a parent don't feel you have control. Yes?
And the other thing is important, we need to speak and talk to the kid about the important, what is the message with the language of you.
Correct.
In Latin America, it's so easy to say, I want to kill you. Why kill you?
Correct.
Right now, any that communication.
That's great.
In that word, right now, 2021, is really bad.
Absolutely.
You have to speak with the kid about what are you saying.
Ex-
It's offensive. What are you saying about that? Because different kids feel, very bad with the comment to the other friend.
Correct. And remember something, that my perception is my reality. You might text me, God, Arlette, that was so stupid. That might really hurt my feelings. Or OMG, you're just, I've heard really just words and I'm like, okay, go back. I did this exercise at a school. Go back and now you tell her what she told you, but in person. It's very different when you tell somebody something in a text. And it's very different when you tell something in person. I once it was at work, and I didn't know it. And I was writing something in caps. And the manager was like, why are you screaming at me? I'm like, and I called, excuse me, they're like, Arlette, when you text in caps, it means you're screaming. I'm like, really? I just text in caps because I can't see, so I figured that I'd do it bigger, but it made sense. And I'm like, you know what, like this is a world that I obviously am not, but we already know the codes, we already know what they're doing, but to me, let's do this. Let's try, if there's something we get today, is we're gonna educate, like maybe over the weekend, I wanna talk to you about your phone. Let's talk about your phone. How often are you on your phone? Like, how often are you on your phone? Have them even realize it. Let's do this tomorrow. We're gonna have not Sunday, no phone. Try it just one, even you as parents, we're all gonna get the phones, we're gonna put them in the closet. I even do it sometimes. I'm like, why am I so attached to this phone? Like right now when I was coming up, look, I turned it off and I left it there. I'm starting to kind of condition myself as well, because I feel also like the pandemic has really caused, social media to flourish in the sense that it's okay, we're not contacting, it's so funny. We can be at work and people want to do like Zoom, and I'm like, you're next door. To be distant. Why? Think about it. Like, we have to get back to getting comfortable, to getting in front of each other and talking to each other, because the pandemic did not help. It hurt. So see what you can do in your home. See how you can balance. That's what I'm talking about. Find the balance with the phone. Find the balance. Now it's phone time. Now it's family time. Now it's time to go out. Make opportunities for your children. Find out what they like, okay? Versus just giving them, that's easy. Giving them the phone to just keep them busy, And, think about, we have to think as parents, how are we raising our children? How do we want them to be? I know for a fact all the parents that have their children here have them here because they know what this school can offer. And we want our children to be better, and most importantly, we want them to be with God. And that's one thing that I like as a person who believes in God, that we can use that as a weapon against, you understand? We can use that, and like we talked about last week, is this godly? Is, saying mean things, is this what God wants for us? No. And I will tell you this, in this school, when you say the word God, they listen. Every student, and they even get teary-eyed sometimes, like, wow, would God be happy if I would be doing this? They're very, very in tune. And if that's the weapon I can use, that's the best weapon that I have. And always ask yourself, is this godly? Is this what God wants me to do? So, use that. Use that as a weapon, okay? Any other questions? No? All right, guys, this was amazing. Okay, if you have any questions, thank you. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to come up to me after the presentation. I also have, you can come up and I can share my phone, okay? And for all of you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a very happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you all again, okay? Thank you.